Okay, welcome to Module 8. I'm here on the course website, as you can see. We'll go down to Module 8. Module 8, obviously there's no lecture this week, but this is the beginning of our Access work. So we'll be using Microsoft Access. The guys on the Mac machines should have seen the first video, which is how to use the RMIT desktop to get to Microsoft Access, because it won't be installed on your PCs. The guys with the Windows machines, it's up to you. You can have you can use your local copy if you've got it installed, or alternatively you can also use the RMIT desktop as well, so you can have a look at the video. But this week's exercise is in Module 8, and Module 8 will be covering basically report writing will be discussed, but I'll be covering all the Microsoft Access material, which is given to you in all of these folders. So it's week 8.0, week 8.1, all the way down to week 8.5. But before we start all those, just a reminder, make sure that you cover the test your knowledge in class, because those multiple choice questions can pop up in the week 12 test. Right? So the structure here is that we have an overall link which lists all of the files that you need for this exercise. So if I go into workshop materials, you actually see that I've provided you links to all the exercises. The one I'll just be introducing now is the introduction, but the main thing on this page is that all of the files that are required for this module are located here if you want to download them, and that's what I usually do, is download all of these files and put them into a directory somewhere. For instance, in my case, I've got all of my files in a directory, and it's listed as week 8. So I've put all the Excel files which we're working with, plus a logo which we'll put into a form later on. But all of the database files are here. You can see them, ACC Access Database DB, and we'll be working with 1-1 to start with, and then as we go along, don't worry about the lock thing, because I've got one of my files. Actually, I've already got the database open, but we'll be working slowly through exercise 1.1, 1.2, etc. And the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually correspond back to the web pages for the course, which is all of the exercises individually listed for you. The pages themselves have all the instructions with screen caps, but I'll be covering it all in the videos as well. So your first point of call is to download all of these files, so probably pause this video, download all these files, put them into a directory like I did in mine, and ready to do the exercises. But straight after that, come back, play this this video, because I'll expect you have already to come back, right? We're going to be covering week 8.0, so section 0, introduction to databases. And if I go to introduction to databases, what we're actually doing is we're going to be creating a database for Marita Loan, because Marita Loan decided that they'll go into an academy, a training company, or basically we're creating tracking for training people. So I'm not going to read all the blurb, you can do that for yourself, but what are we going to learn in this exercise for this module is basically what is a database, what is access, and the whole list of things that you have to know for this module, or which you'll learn during this module, right up to creating creating forms with subforms. Right? I've given you links here to the Excel files again if you really need them, but what you should do is before we start going into actually using the database, your first point of call is to understand what is a database and what is access, and it's up to you now, before we get to the next video or next section of the module, is to actually run from the Canvas site these 2 introductory videos about what are databases and what are the objects which we'll be using within Access. So I'll let you guys do that now. You can pause the video here and then go back to Canvas to run these so you understand and you're ready for us to continue with the next one, which will be actually creating our first database for the course. All right. So go ahead, have a look at the videos, and we'll catch up in a second.